Hello, my name is Ebrahim Hekmat. My project was about Iran and the West. I will briefly familiarize you with its history and also talk about why there's a bitter relationship between Iran and the United States. So the Persian Empire was formed in 550 BC, that's over 2600 years ago, by the Achaemenid Empire. They were able to conquer a vast amount of land, and their land stretched from the west by Greece and all the way to India by the west. Uh, 2000 something years later, we fast forward to 1925. The Pahlavi dynasty comes into power by uh, King Muhammad Pahlavi. He changed the name from Persia to Iran during his power. After his After him, Muhammad Reza Pahlavi, his older son, was appointed as the king, which we call Shah, in 1941. He was the last king to rule over the Persian Empire, and during 1979, he escaped from Iran, and there was a revolution that took place, and the majority of people voted for an Islamic Republic to rule over Iran. This revolution was led by a man called Khomeini. He was widely popular in Iran, and he was able to get 98% of the vote of the people. Current day president is Hassan Rouhani, who is a cleric and seems to be friendly with the West and is trying to work out the relationship we have with the United States. Um, Talking a little bit about the geographic location of Iran, it's located in the Middle East. Has 77 million population. Over 60% are under the age of 30. Its main revenues are from oil, and that's about it. Now, talking about why there is a bad relationship between Iran and the United States. For most of the Americans, the story begins in 1979 with the Iranian Revolution and the hostage crisis. A group of university students took 52 American as hostages for over 400 days. Uh, they demanded in return the Shah to be returned in Iran, the Iranian people to put in trial. No negotiations were reached. The hostages were freed after 444 days, and that was about it. But to really understand the story, we have to go back to 1953, which is when the story begins for most Iranians. This is the year when the United States overthrew Iran's democracy and installed the Shah, a pro-US dictator, back in power. In 1951, Dr. Mohammad Mossadegh was the first elected official who was appointed as the Prime Minister of Iran. During that time, Iran was ruled by monarchy, and the country was trying to have democracy, so they stripped the king from most of his powers and appointed a prime minister who will be elected um, every 4 years or so to have most of the power. Mossadegh saw that the wealth needed to rebuild Iran was leaving the country because for the past 50 years or so, its vast oil reserves was under the British control at the hands of Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, later to become BP, British Petroleum. So Mossadegh became nationally popular for nationalizing Iran's oil and bringing all the revenues back to the Iranian people. But however, he became quite unpopular with the United Kingdom and the United States. So in 1953, the newly formed CIA was then sent to engineer a coup and arrest Mossadegh, and they were able to successfully put him out of power, and they put him into jail, and the Shah was put back into power with the support of the US and the UK. This event has changed the course of history of the Iranian government. So for many people in Iran, the involvement of the United States in foreign affairs of other countries is hugely unpopular. Um, and that's about it. Thank you.